So we had an entire fucking, 4-hour hangout sesh before this when we should have been recording the entire time.
Should have been.
Should have been.
But that's okay, because I needed my weekly dose of fucking bullshit in session.
That's fucking right. Otherwise, somebody would end up dead in a goddamn rug somewhere.
That's right.
Off
Next
the side
time,
of a goddamn cliff.
we'll just start recording earlier for Patreon people.
Oh my gosh. How's it going, Erin?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good. Living the dream.
Oh, you know.
Mm-hmm. I
Always.
sure enough do.
Mm-hmm.
God damn!
Want to hit me with y'all goddamn?
My cat died.
How did I forget that? Wow, I'm really sad now.
Sorry. Hit
Oh
you
my
with the bad
god,
news.
I forgot. Tell them.
Yeah, so it was my really old little man. He's Greg. He was Greg.
Greg.
But he was a very old man. He was like 14 years old, and it was his time, and he got to be at home, and it was very peaceful and nice and all of the things. So we're going to have a funeral for him and all of that, but it fucking sucks. It sucks. It sucks.
When you told me he passed away, I immediately asked you like 700 questions and regretted all of the answers. I was
Yeah.
like, why would I ask that?
Right?
Why would I want to
Yeah.
know? Like, I
Yeah.
could just live in my own little head of just like, ah,
How's the other cat? Depressed.
yeah, sad,
Super
crying,
sad.
won't stop whining,
Crying
misses
around
his
the house.
best friend.
Why? Is that not what you wanted to hear?
Oh my God, I was
He's fine.
devastated.
Yeah. Oh,
and
man.
like what you, just your whole story. I was like, that's so
Yeah.
sad.
Little
I'm
man.
sorry.
Little
But
man.
he lived a happy, long life.
He sure did.
That cat was happy as fuck. Like, I just saw him Wednesday.
He was. He was such a happy guy. I love that cat. But he was by far the best animal we ever had.
He had thumbs.
He did have thumbs. I love him. Still. So, now we have the kitten and Sonic still. And now when Sonic is yowling around the house, I just throw the kitten at him like,
This is
"Here you
Greg
go."
2.0.
Yeah, this is Greg's fucking soul cat before he died. He's our emotional support animal. He could be yours too.
What did Greg think of his replacement?
I think he liked him.
Yeah?
Yeah, he
That's
didn't
good.
mind. He didn't.
He approved?
Yeah, he wasn't like, he never hissed at him. He was just like whatever. He would cuddle with him. He'd come up and cuddle. The kitten would come up and cuddle with him. So he was a sweetheart. And Greg licked him a couple times, but
Gave him his goodbye kisses.
yeah,
Oh
but
my
he
God.
was pretty much over it at the end. Like he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing.
There.
He wasn't
Yeah.
doing anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's
But
how you know they're ready.
yeah, he didn't hate him, so that was nice.
Hey! He's like, I'm not here. I can't hate anybody.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, all right, you got your replacement. I'm gonna check out.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and clock out here.
Yeah, looks like my shift is covered.
Fuck, man. What a rough week.
Yeah, well, give me your goddamn.
Well, my goddamn is cat related also, but different kind of cat. An ocelot. Let me tell you
Oh.
something about some shit in my life.
I bet you could tell me a lot of facts about ocelots.
I could tell you at least 8 interesting facts about the ocelot. And the reason is because my second grader had one of those fucking sick ass end of the year projects that were due. You know, the ones where they give you like fucking 800 months to do it.
And you wait until like the day before.
The weekend before.
Yeah.
So that's what we were doing. And so I've instilled a lot of emotional trauma in my house surrounding ocelots because I evidently apply far too much pressure on my child to glue a motherfucking dot to a motherfucking poster board.
I will be honest. I saw the poster board in its infancy, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
You did give me a lot of compliments.
I was so impressed.
I hope I get an A.
She had Stacey, I'm sure, not your child, had cut out an entire ocelot out of different colored construction paper. I was so impressed. Like, its back legs were white with the foreground is yellow. Girl.
There was a process. Okay,
There was.
So
And don't tell me it came from a, I don't know, a kit on Pinterest. Because
bitch, I
in my brain,
free-handed that shit with my eyeballs and my scissors.
Second.
Only the ocelot
helped you
body. That's
It
a
was
lie. I helped with a
perfect.
lot of it. Okay, here's the thing. Because these motherfuckers, it was like underlined so many times in the report that like the second grader has to do the project. It could be anything.
Yeah.
The project could be anything. They could make a fucking movie. They could make a plushie. You can make a craft. You can make a diorama. You can make fucking a PowerPoint. It was a free form, whatever.
Yeah.
And so when I first sat down with my kid, I was like, okay, baby, you pick. So he was like, I want to do a PowerPoint because you're great at PowerPoint. And I'm like, okay, cool.
But you're not.
And then I thought about it and I was like, that sounds like my personal nightmare because
Yeah.
I'm anal
Gonna end up doing it.
about the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Like this was It was my career.
Yeah.
Like,
Literal
I'm gonna
job.
control it.
You can't turn this in. This is trash.
Yeah. And it's coming from a second grader. I know my shortcomings already.
Yeah.
So I fucking was aware. And I was like, oh, let's do the little book thing. Because he has some fucking app on his iPad for school that they can like build books out of or some shit. And he's like, oh, I'm so good at it. So I'm like, okay, let's do that. Kid almost raged within the first 5 seconds of doing it. So I was like, fuck that. We're going back to the basics. We're doing a poster board. We're going to do a poster board. And he's like, okay. Because I'm thinking I can help this kid and just direct him, right? Like, but glue it there, glue it there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, he'll just write down his facts. We'll cut them out and glue them down. Easy peasy. Motherfucker. He acted like I was torturing him to write down 8 interesting motherfucking facts. He did great finding them. He asked Alexa for everything. And I just helped him like, okay, now write this, write that, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But it was like, there's a rubric, right? So I'm like, hey, babe, you have to capitalize your letters and shit. Like everything you fucking learned throughout the year, apply to this goddamn board.
Yeah. This is where you show what you know. She's doing it now. Yeah. She's raging.
I was not talking to him this way. Don't worry. I did probably eventually. But I was getting so fucking upset with him because he was just like, like writing it like, no, I'm done. And I'm like, no, man, like go slower. Try to write nice. Try to write straight. Like you're going to present this. And I was telling him like, are you okay presenting that? I don't think you're going to get an A. You can if you want to. And he was like, you're being too harsh on me. So much emotional trauma.
Oh, yeah.
I was so good, though, guys. I sat with him and I was like, I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to be hard on you. I just expect a lot out of you because you've been getting bad grades on your handwriting, whatever, right? Like, we got to focus on it. Yeah. And I haven't been present to force you to focus on it. And here I am. I quit my job. I'm present. Let's focus on this, whatever. So we go back out there. We're doing great. Guys, I literally had to fucking hold this kid's hand, like glue it here, glue it there, glue it there. And then he was just standing next to me at some points and I was just like rubbing the glue, like had the glue stick up and rubbing the construction paper on the glue and like handing it to him. Cause he's like, I don't like touching the glue. It gets me all sticky. I'm like, nobody fucking does. Nobody does. Yeah. This is what we have to do.
You'll wash your hands later.
Oh my God. The emotional trauma. So my whole thing, the reason the ocelot looks so fucking bitchin', I was like, there's nothing on here. Like I have nothing at my house that's ocelot-like. Like, I don't have anything that's going to let you know this is an ocelot other than this one motherfucking constructed thing. So I cut the body out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, and then I'll tell him the order to glue it in. I would rather die. I should have just glued it all together and just done it myself. The trauma. I mean, it turned out great. And then at the end, Lee stepped in and he really helped add like all of the rest of my son's touches. Like
he wrote the facts for him, so it's nice.
Yeah, so it's all
nice.
nice.
He's got pretty okay.
Yeah, it actually looks really good.
Grader,
no, we came up with solutions and everything, and my son actually participated a decent amount, and he presented it so well in the end. I want to fucking die, and this is a second grade project. I can't, guys. I'm not made for. I expect way too much.
Well, yeah.
Like I have really high standards.
Yeah.
And so I think my solution is to just avoid it. Like, I'm going to be a bitch, so I'm just not going to say anything, and I'll let Lee take over this one. And Lee is so good with them.
Aww.
He's so good. He's like, it's okay. Like, just stay calm. Because, they're like, I don't want to, I can't sit still. I don't want to, I'm just tired, and I'm so tired, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Lee's like, take a deep breath. Let's write these sentences. Now do that. Oh, he's so good. Yeah, and I'm like, after one complaint, I'm like, it fucking sucks to suck, huh? I know, that's why we should have done this stuff an hour and a half ago, like I fucking said the first time. And that doesn't help.
It's normal to cry during homework. We all did.
I am not the one to break that generational curse. Jeez Louise. But, it's almost summertime.
Yeah, so you want to escape that and talk about some murder?
Obviously.
Talk about someone else's misfortune?
Yeah, let me make it better. Why are we this way?
There's probably reasons. There's
I'm not
reasons
interested
that you could pinpoint in this podcast.
In my goddamn. Yeah. Fuck. All right. Let me tell you about the Hart family.
All right.
You might have heard this one.
H-A-R-T or H-E-A-R-T?
H-A-R-T.
All right.
Case
it makes a difference in my mind.
Yeah, good. Okay. So we're jumping right in. All fucking hands and feet and noses and toeses.
All right.
In March of 2018, Jennifer and Sarah Hart were a married couple in their late 30s from Westland, Oregon, who had built a public image for themselves as progressive, loving mothers of 6 adopted Black children.
Wow.
Okay? So I told you we're jumping right in.
Yeah, we are.
The
6 kids?
6. And I'm about to tell you the names and ages in 2018.
Okay. Were they related or was 6 a choice?
I'll explain.
Okay.
So we have Marcus, 19, Hannah, 16, Devontae, 15, Abigail, 14, Jeremiah, 14, and Sierra, 12. So they're all like teenage years.
Okay.
Right? Jennifer and Sarah, the couple.
That's expensive.
is so many fucking kids.
I'm thinking about is any extracurricular activities is going to be over $2,000, $3,000.
I'm about to tell you, these people were active too, so that's fucking crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts. Is right. Well, I'm too lazy for that.
Oh my God.
But if I had to, I would. But that's a choice.
Each sport is like $300. You have 6 kids.
I know. Oh my God, seriously. You have a team yourself. You don't have to pay for the league.
Oh my God.
You just show up.
7 for 7. Oh, they need one more kid.
So Jennifer and Sarah, the couple, they had met years prior while they were attending Northern State University in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Aberdeen. Okay, heads up, as we get into this, you're going to hear every motherfucking state in the goddamn United States because they moved a lot.
Okay.
And I don't have a chronological timeline because it's not that important, I don't think, to the story. But every time I name a new state, just don't be shocked that they moved somewhere. And they just be like, oh, they must have moved.
They must have moved. But they were on the go.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were cruising. They were busy.
So maybe they weren't paying for sports then.
Maybe.
That brings it down a little.
Yeah, maybe. Both Jennifer and Sarah had studied education, and they became close during their time there at university. And they eventually entered a romantic relationship. Their connection grew stronger over time, and they later moved in together. By 2006, the couple had been living together for some time and decided that they wanted to expand their family with adoption. And this is when they adopted Marcus, Hannah, and Abigail, and they were all biological siblings.
Okay.
2 years later, they adopted another set of siblings, Devontae, Jeremiah, and Sierra.
Okay.
So it's 2 sets of siblings that they adopted.
That makes more sense. It's not just like another one.
Yeah, one at a time. Could you imagine the paperwork alone?
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, you're still doing them one at a time, but you just all at once, you know?
Yeah, all at once, one at a time, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's different.
It's so different. You're only running to IKEA one time to buy it all.
Right. You get bunk beds.
Exactly. So these children, they had been removed from their biological home due to neglect, and they were placed in foster care before being adopted by the Harts. The adoption process was facilitated by child welfare services that at the time were under pressure to place children, especially Black siblings, or those that were perceived to have like behavioral challenges with families that were willing to adopt them together. Okay. So that was the whole challenge, was like, okay, like
3 kids is hard.
It's a fucking
and 3 kids with behavioral issues.
I don't think that these children had behavioral issues. I don't know. But, you know, it's just describing at the time. Yeah. Like, especially if there's behavioral issues, I'm guessing minorities were hard to place. African-American children, Black children. Yeah. And they wanted to make sure everybody would adopt them together. So the Harts were like a perfect family. They were presenting as a stable, loving 2-parent home, and they were ideal candidates. In 2009, after same-sex marriage had become legalized in Connecticut, which is where the family was living at the time, Jennifer and Sarah were able to legally wed one another.
Okay.
Their social media presence was filled with photos of family outings, smiles, and declarations of love. Aww. You know, as everybody's social media is.
Presenting on Facebook as.
Exactly. Everything seemed great for the family over the years as the children grew up together. Devontae, the middle child, he became briefly famous in 2014.
A little YouTuber or something?
Not quite. A photograph of him hugging a white police officer during the Black Lives Matter protest went viral.
Oh.
I don't remember it. I looked up the photo. It's a very moving photo. He's hugging a white police officer and he's crying and the white police officer is hugging him back.
Aww.
At the time, the photo was like widely circulated as a symbol of racial unity and hope on the internet.
Yeah.
Jennifer was the more vocal and visible of the 2 online in social media and everything. So she was the one getting them out there, right? Like she's the reason they were at this protest, Black Lives Matter protest, and that Devontae hugged the police officer and she took the photo and made it go viral.
Okay. Are both the moms white?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I should have mentioned that. I don't know if it matters, but
now you know. I don't
know
know if it matters either, but now I know.
Jennifer also posted emotional messages online, painting herself as a devoted, exhausted mother, as we do, all right. She also controlled much of the family's interactions with others whenever they would venture outside of the home. Mm-hmm. And also, the children were homeschooled, and so they lived like a pretty sheltered life.
Yeah, they were both education majors, though. So, I mean, that makes sense. And if they're, like, you know, traveling a lot or whatever, I could see it. And there's 6 of them.
Exactly.
I could see it.
So you're picking up what they're putting down. Yeah. And everything's on social media, whatever. They had a big online presence.
Lifestyle. Love it.
Exactly. Sarah, she worked as an assistant at Kohl's, and she was quieter by comparison to Jennifer.
Okay.
Now, Jennifer and Sarah, they were kind of like the definition of progressive parenting to the social media world, right? The way that they were portraying themselves, everything we just said.
Yeah.
Like 2 white lesbians living together with 6 black children that they adopted, and they're traveling all over the place and all these fancy, fun things. Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, all progressive.
Exactly. That's how they were portraying themselves, okay?
Love it.
However,
Friends
and neighbors say that they saw some interesting behaviors that gave them pause to question if what they were posting on social media was actually the truth of their, like, what the reality of their world was.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so over the years, several neighbors witnessed disturbing signs that the children were often described as unusually quiet, thin, and reserved.
Oh, are the kids a front? I hate this.
You're going to hate it. So in 2008, when the Harts lived in Minnesota, like I said, they moved a lot. A teacher reported...
Are they moving because people fucking catch on? Oh, I hate this.
Do you hate it?
Oh, I hate this. Oh, they're predators.
Oh, you're onto something. Okay, so in 2008, the Harts were living in Minnesota. A teacher reported that Abigail had bruises. I don't know what age she was. I didn't do the math. But anyway, younger, right?
Yeah.
She had bruises.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Yeah. No. When they asked Abigail what was going on, she said that she was beaten by her parents with a belt.
Oh. Why?
I guess there was an investigation, and Sarah, the quieter of the two, admitted to the abuse, and she was convicted of misdemeanor domestic assault.
Oh my God. Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you can't hit with a belt anymore.
Turns out that's domestic assault.
Turns out that's a fucking crime.
Oh my God. Dude, tell that to my kids, okay?
Oh my God. The kitten. Misdemeanor everywhere. He's a felon. Getting shanked left and right.
Oh my God. Are you okay?
No.
Running a little fucking mob over there?
Yeah.
Cat mob?
It's awful. I'm in so much pain constantly.
Oh no. So because of this misdemeanor, the children were temporarily removed from the home, but they were later returned.
Okay. Did they want to come back? I don't know if they have a choice, I guess. It's hard to place them.
Right?
That's
exactly.
awful.
They need somebody to care for them.
Yeah.
And keep them together as siblings.
Oh my God. Why would they let them go back? They were beating them.
Well, that was the only, the only account.
They did it one time.
And everything online looks great. Everybody looks so perfect. Everybody's so happy. They're going to all these Black Lives Matters protests. What are you talking about? I guess this is in 2008. That was before all that. But anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Hate it.
I hate it too. In 2017, when the Hart family moved to Woodland, Washington, they became neighbors to a couple named Bruce and Dana DeKalb.
Okay.
Almost immediately, the DeKalbs noticed strange behavior. One night, Hannah Hart had jumped from a second-story window and ran to their house at 1:30 in the morning.
Uh-oh.
She was barefoot and visibly terrified.
At 1:30 in the morning?
In the AM.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's too goddamn early.
That is too late or too early.
Right. How scary would that be? To wake up to a little kid banging on your door? I feel like it was a trap. Like, oh, my God.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you can come in now.
Yeah, but only you.
Yeah. Slam the door behind you.
Okay, so she begged them to not tell her moms and claimed that she was being abused. So she runs over in the middle of the night. She's like, don't tell anybody that I'm being abused.
Okay.
I guess Jennifer found out that she had fucking got out, and so she went over to the neighbors shortly afterward and was telling the neighbors, oh, don't listen to Hannah. She's struggling with food issues. She's lying for attention. We're having trouble with her behavior.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. The DeKalbs were deeply unsettled, obviously, and so they start documenting all the strange encounters. Thank God for good neighbors.
Yeah.
They noticed that Devontae had repeatedly come over to ask for food.
Oh.
And he would say that his moms would withhold meals from him as punishment.
Oh, my God.
They weren't allowed to eat.
Oh, that's awful.
Exactly. And the couple was disturbed by these interactions, and so they eventually called Child Protective Services on March 23rd, 2018.
Okay.
When a caseworker showed up to check on the family, no one answered the door. They just didn't answer the door.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to do that. They know the drill. Like you said, they've been hopping town.
Yeah.
Seems to be a history, right?
Mm-hmm. We're going to have to move again. We've been spotted.
That's what they did. So shortly after the CPS person left, the Harts packed up and they left town.
Oh, my God. Despite
numerous reports to Child Protective Services over the years, the children remained in the Hart home this whole time. In some cases, CPS would fail to follow up when, like, neighbors and stuff would call and see all these random things happening, I guess. Well, like I said, they knocked on the door and they were like, I don't know, nobody answered.
Nobody answered. What was I supposed to do? Knock down the door?
Exactly. In other cases, CPS would come and the cases would get closed because they were so convincing. Like, everything's fine.
They're very nice people, whatever.
Exactly. Each time the authorities would come around, Jennifer and Sarah would they would, like, deflect and they'd be really calm about it, like, very calm explanations. They knew how to handle it and how to talk to them. And the children, they were
terrified.
Yeah, exactly. So they stayed quiet and they went along with it.
Oh my God, this is fucking awful.
So it's the end of March 2018, right? And the Hart family has skipped town after that call from CPS. So this takes us to the morning of March 26, 2018, when the Hart's neighbors, the ones that had called CPS, they noticed that the Hart's family SUV was missing from the driveway. Now, they called CPS like 3 days ago, and the Harts have skipped town, basically, is what they're noticing. There was a red kayak that would always sit on top of their SUV, and that had been taken off and left, like, on the property. And there were cinder blocks that were littered in the driveway, and I guess they were from a retaining wall that they had hit when they were leaving. Like, they left in such a hurry, they hit the fucking retaining wall and broke it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So now
women drivers. Sorry. Just kidding.
So now cut to the same morning in California, that's like 500 miles away from where the Harts live. And there's a passing motorist traveling on a rugged scenic stretch of Highway 1 in Mendocino, California. And he noticed that there was something unusual near the base of a steep cliff along the freeway. There was a vehicle, a large white 2003 GMC Yukon XL SUV.
Oh my God.
Was overturned and severely damaged in a remote area at the bottom of a 100-foot drop cliff.
Holy shit.
It had landed upside down and it was in the coastal line of the ocean's water.
Oh my God.
Because we're on the one freeway. That, like, runs the whole fucking coast.
Yeah.
The passerby immediately calls 911 and reports the wreck and the possibility of maybe there's people trapped inside.
Yeah.
Like, we need to call someone.
Oh, my God.
So due to the remote location and the difficult terrain, the first responders faced challenges when, to get to the scene quickly. It took them a while.
Yeah.
When they finally got there, they found that the SUV was resting on its side in thick brush and rocky terrain. I saw the pictures and it looked like it was on its head, but maybe it had, like, bounced off its side and landed on the head of the car, so it was upside down.
Yeah.
As search and rescue teams approached, they began the grim task of locating the occupants. They found the bodies of Jennifer and Sarah Hart inside the vehicle.
Oh, my God.
Nearby, scattered among the brush and the rocks, were the remains of the children. Some of them were still strapped into their car seats or near the car, like they were in and out. Yeah. Others were further away, indicating that they had been ejected or that they may have fled the site, like maybe survived the crash, but, like, tried to get away and couldn't get help in time and succumbed to injuries.
That.
3 of the children, Marcus, Abigail, and Jeremiah, were found near the vehicle. Initially, Hannah and Sierra and Devante were not discovered. It took weeks for them to find their remains.
Oh, my God. Were they none of the kids were wearing seatbelts?
No. The rugged and heavily wooded terrain below the cliff complicated the search and recovery efforts, right? So this is why it takes weeks for them to recover the bodies. Hannah and Sarah's remains were not found immediately because they were located farther from the main crash site. So we had most of the people at the main site, but there were some people that probably were ejected and got, like, scattered further.
Yeah.
And then they were hidden by a lot of vegetation and debris. So it took time, and they had to get, like, cadaver dogs and like, fucking helicopters and shit to get everybody.
I hate this.
Search teams had to conduct multiple careful sweeps of the area. Weather conditions and the size of the search area also delayed the recovery efforts. Despite all of their search efforts, Devante's body was never found.
Oh, my God.
His remains still are not located, but based on the circumstances, he is presumed dead.
Oh, my God. That's so sad.
I know. So the crash site itself, I thought it was fucking crazy that they hadn't found him. And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't in the car. That's weird. This is weird, right?
But he could have gone all the way to the ocean.
That's exactly. Well, once I saw the pictures, the fucking vehicle's upside down in what looks like the coastline of the ocean.
Yeah. What could have been high tide, too. Like, or gone through some tides and, like...
Oh,
if
yeah,
he was
and
nearby, he could have been swept out.
exactly. And based on where the accident was, like anybody could have been swept out, like you said, by waves or anything,
Yeah.
according to my unprofessional opinion.
Yeah.
Like it was upside down in water. And if
Yeah.
you're in the car, you drown.
Yeah.
Like you're upside down in water.
Yeah.
I don't know where their tights were though, to be fair.
Did they make the children unbuckle? Like,
Oh, I'll tell you.
you will?
I will tell you.
Oh my God, I thought there wasn't going to be a way to know.
Oh, I'm going to tell you. Don't worry.
Oh, I hate this.
Don't worry. So, the force of the impact of the crash combined with the strong ocean currents could have carried Devontae's body out to sea or trapped underneath water or debris, like we were saying.
Mm-hmm.
He also could have been ejected from the vehicle into the surf and lost to the sea. Like we're all saying, all these scenarios, right?
Yeah.
This is what they're coming up with. Some of the children were not wearing seatbelts. It's believed that Devontae may have been thrown from the car on impact and swept away almost immediately. So they think that he was never, like, around
Yeah.
the crime scene.
Okay.
Although his body was never recovered, authorities concluded that Devontae was in the vehicle at the time of the crash based on GPS data, travel timelines, and the absence of any sign that he had been anywhere else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're just saying, like, okay,
There's no way that he wasn't also in the car.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so fucking sad. But, and I'm sure I'll get to this, but just because it's relevant and you were asking me, the investigation discovered that they intentionally left them all unbuckled.
That's so fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
That's fucking crazy. And also, why buckle yourself at that point? If you're flinging yourself off of a cliff, are you just assuming maybe you'll survive because you have a
Nobody
seatbelt
was
on?
buckled. Nobody was buckled. Nobody was buckled.
Oh, they weren't buckled either?
No. I'll tell you all about it, okay?
I assumed since they
nobody
were
was
still in the car that they had
I
been
know.
buckled.
That's why it was hard to, like, say who was where, because,
Yeah.
like, they were all just kind of...
Everywhere.
Nobody was buckled, but some people were still in the car.
Yeah.
And, like, the car seat thing, I think they were just sitting in the car seat, like, when the kids were found still in their car seat.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh my God.
So it appears that the SUV had flipped, like when it yeeted off the cliff, it had flipped and it landed on its side. It's on its head in the picture, so I don't know if
Yeah, but
they're
it probably,
saying it
like,
landed on its side and then
impacted
landed on its
and-
head.
yeah.
Yeah. It's believed that the children were either forced out of the vehicle after the crash, which I think is interesting. That's
Forced
an
out,
interesting...
like, by impact?
Maybe. Or if somebody was like, get out of the car, if somebody survived it, like, hey, get out, right? Or they had escaped the vehicle from the crash themselves, and then they were unable to survive due to injuries or exposures or other factors. Like,
Because we don't know
we
how
don't-
long it had been before they were found.
It was that night. Like, it was relatively shortly after.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like days or anything.
Okay.
But this is an investigation, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so we're trying to figure it all out. Initial reports suggested that the crash might have been accidental, but as the investigators examined the scene, their suspicion grew, right?
Yeah,
Like, why is
nobody's buckled.
why is nobody wearing a seatbelt?
Even the car seat. And you're all educators. You work with
Exactly.
children. You
What the
understand
fuck is happening?
seatbelts are
Right.
a fucking thing.
Right. So it didn't take long for them to be like, the fuck?
Yeah, this
That-
is not okay.
Mhm.
And that whole domestic violence thing and then the CPS reports,
weird.
I feel like it
Interesting.
paints a picture
Right.
of what this might have.
Right. And this is the
What?
same day that the neighbors just found out that they skipped town, right?
Yeah.
So they're connecting the dots. Like, oh, this family's missing from 500 miles away, and they're just found at the bottom of a ravine. Like, this is suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
The SUV in the crime scene had no skid marks, brake use, or signs of swerving. The data was pulled from the car's computer, and investigators discovered that the SUV had been parked at the edge of the dirt turnout
Oh my
along
God.
Highway 1, where they were found at the bottom of the ravine. There was a little turnout right there.
Uh-huh.
They had been parked there before.
Before they yeeted
went
off, or like a week before?
No.
Before.
Like,
Okay.
before they yeeted off. Like,
Oh my God.
Like, it shows that the car went from 0 miles per hour.
And she was
to
like, I
acceleration.
swear to fucking God, I said.
I will yeet us off this motherfucking cliff if you don't get your goddamn seatbelt on. I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, whatever
Oh
the
my
thing is.
God. That's insane.
I fucking know.
What's the vibe in that fucking car right before it goes over?
I'm going to paint the vibe. You just wait. So
Was
there's
there an OnStar or some shit? Oh my God.
No. But there's more evidence that we get that they think they know what happened. Okay.
Okay.
So there's no skid marks or sign of evasive action, right? Instead, the evidence showed that the vehicle had come to a complete stop before it accelerated off the cliff. It had gone from 0 to 20 miles per hour before yeeting, like suggesting that the car had intentionally driven off the cliff, right? Like they stopped and then they were like, bam, gun it.
Go. Yeah.
But there wasn't enough runway for them to gun it far. They only reached 20 miles per hour before they yeeted off. But it was enough to, like,
It's a fucking
get them
minivan,
off and flip it.
essentially.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it doesn't go very
exactly.
fast. It's not known for
Yeah, it's
acceleration.
a little heavy with fucking 8 people in it, too.
Honestly.
Toxicology reports added more disturbing details. So Jennifer Hart, she was the driver. She had a blood alcohol level content that was well over the legal limit.
Ooh, that's not good.
Not good. So she was driving drunk.
Uh-huh.
Sarah Hart and all the other children, except for we don't know Devontae, obviously, but they had Benadryl in their systems, and they were at toxic levels. Yeah.
What?
So it was likely that they were all sedated at the time of the crash. The evidence paints a pretty grim picture.
Oh my God.
That this wasn't an accident, but it was a deliberate act.
But it makes it, I don't know, different to me, not better or worse or anything, that she may have also intentionally killed her partner, that the partner wasn't in on it, Sarah might not have been on it.
Oh, there's more evidence. You're going to find out
Oh my
that
God.
everything
Oh my
everybody
God.
knows. Okay,
Oh my
so.
God. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's fucking, I agree. Like, what the fuck? So, obviously, the authorities now are like, this wasn't an accident. This is a murder-suicide.
Yeah.
Like, the driver intentionally yeeted everybody off, and everybody was drugged in the car, including the driver. But the driver was driving. So,
Yeah.
you know, hey. So following the crash, the investigators searched the Hart home, and what they found further supported the theory of premeditation and a family under very tight control. Jennifer's control, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was minimal food in the house. School records were incomplete or non-existent, like the children just didn't have records.
Mm-hmm.
Notes, internet searches, and text messages revealed a bunch of disturbing details in the days leading up to the crash. Search history on Jennifer's phone included phrases like, quote, how easily can I overdose on Benadryl?
Oh my God.
Or how long does it take to die from hypothermia in a car?
Holy shit.
Suggesting like water, like
Yeah.
let me go yeet them in I don't know. Or maybe snow.
Yeah.
And then another search that was no-kill animal shelters. Now the family had a bunch of animals.
Fuck you.
Right?
Are you serious?
I'm fucking serious.
The dogs.
Yeah,
get to
the
go to
dogs get to
fucking
go to a no-kill
back
shelter.
to foster care.
Yeah.
And not get killed, but
Yeah.
the kids can't.
Yep. What the fuck?
Kill yourself.
What the fuck?
Kill yourself. That's a horrible thing to say, and I'm sorry. That's so rude. But also, what the fuck? You're going to take out children and your
know.
spouse.
I know.
Like,
I know.
girl,
I know.
get help.
Dude, if the dogs would have been
That's
in
a
there, though, I
better
would have,
thing to
or
do.
the cats, I would have been fucking even more livid. But yeah, isn't that sick? Like,
But she
what is
had
wrong?
More respect for the animals.
I know.
To turn them back
than
into
the children.
a system than
I
the
know.
children.
I
That's
fucking know.
crazy.
Oh my God. Okay, so Sarah's phone revealed.
This bitch thinks she owns everybody.
She clearly does, I guess. So Sarah's phone revealed a number of text messages and Google searches as well.
So she was in on it.
Yep. So she texted a friend that she wished someone would step in and, quote, take this all from me. Like, she was overwhelmed by all the children and her life that she was living with Jennifer, and Jennifer was so controlling and everything, and she's like, I'm
I
in
get
over
it.
my head. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Listen, just
Go take a girls trip,
2
homie.
children. Yeah. You need a girls trip. You need a best friend.
You don't need
get out.
Benadryl and to get yeeted off the goddamn cliff.
Oh my
Shit.
God. And I could see 6 kids. That's a lot of fucking kids.
That's a lot of stress, man. I get it, but like, whoa.
Holy shit. Yeah.
So Sarah had expressed feeling overwhelmed and exhausted, particularly about homeschooling and managing the children's behavior. So maybe they were struggling with behavior, but also you've got fucking 6 children that were in the goddamn system.
And
like
you're trying to
choosing to
homeschool
do
them.
this. Go
Yeah.
fix, go help them, get them
Yeah.
care.
yeah.
Be
You were
there for
trained
them.
for this.
Or don't do it.
Or don't do it. Or
Yeah.
give them back. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Turns out it was too much. I can only handle
Jeez.
one set of siblings.
I mean, obviously there's like mental fucking sickness here, but what the
of
fuck?
course, but
My God.
Jesus.
Yeah. So in some text messages, Sarah mentioned how difficult it was to discipline the children and how they were, quote, not bonding as she had hoped they would. So maybe the children weren't getting along.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they're like 2 separate teams.
Yeah, they're
basically. That's because
right.
they're being abused in the home.
Yeah, they've got to look out for each other.
Yeah.
And now they're being
And they're probably
Exactly.
being pitted against each other. Like,
Yeah.
you tell me if so and so does this or
Right.
that. That's a fucking common thing in
Dude,
those
that's
households.
so fucked up. What a torturous
They're not
life.
bonding.
Yeah. Oh my
Jesus. Trauma bonding.
Honestly.
Probably.
Sarah also Googled information on overdosing, side effects of medication, and what might be considered abuse, all suggesting that she was researching outcomes or grappling with the morality of what was happening in the home.
Yeah.
So I guess she was just kind of like, Like all of her searches were signs that shit was not okay.
Yeah.
And things are going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And that's what led us here. Some suggest that these messages show a woman who may not have felt empowered to act against Jennifer the abuse. Like, you know,
sure, yeah.
She's afraid of her, like she's being abused too. But
you also can't just be party to, stand by, and not do anything. Like she also was the adopted parent on those forms that could turn her
like
kids
she was
back
participating.
in. Yeah,
right.
Or search for help, call 911.
Yep,
we're under her control.
And this is all speculation, right? Like we don't know.
Yeah.
Her messages expressed despair and feelings of helplessness, suggesting that she may have not initiated the crash, obviously, right? She wasn't driving, but she was aware and very complicit with the plan. On March 24th, so this would have been the morning after CPS had knocked on their door and they scattered, right?
How dramatic, first of all. You're going to go kill yourselves and your children.
But like you had said, they probably were skipping a lot of towns.
Yeah.
And shit might be catching up.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I didn't consider that when I was writing this, but when you said that, I was like, that's a fucking good point. That's probably what was going on.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they bounce so much, is as soon as they start catching on, you gotta leave. Like, oh, they don't believe my lies online and shit and this fake life that I'm telling them about and that I'm actually abusing these children. I gotta go.
Yeah. They're going to investigate.
So the morning after CPS knocked on the door and when they scattered, Sarah had sent a text message to her manager at Kohl's at 3 a.m. saying that she was too sick to open the store. So it started at that night. Like when they knocked, that 3 a.m., she was like, I'm too sick. We got to skip out. Right?
Yeah. Well, how long does it take to drive 500 miles? Because that would be like...
You know, also, guys, listen, I'm being 100% honest. I did see that there was a whole timeline of everywhere they drove and everything, and I didn't write all that down. Okay,
never mind. Don't worry about it. But it started that night before. Well, the night after, or the night of the CPS visit.
Yeah. They're skipping town.
These poor children. Imagine having to be packed up and like fucking shipped off again to who knows where because your moms are
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. So anyway, 3 a.m. she calls, I'm too sick to open the store, right? By 1:12 p.m. on March 26th, so that's the day they were discovered, so 3 days later, Sarah's coworker at Kohl's had actually called the police for a welfare check. But by then the family was dead, right? But that's how we're connecting everything. So Sarah's coworkers are calling for a welfare check. The neighbors are like, they fucking scooted town, and then now they're at the bottom of a ravine. So we have all signs that Sarah knew that they were skipping town. And they're trying to get the fuck out. And then we have all the Benadryl, Googles, and all that other stuff. And they're all sedated on Benadryl. That's interesting. So, in short, the couple were realizing that the gig was up, CPS was closing in on them, so they found some shelter to take their animals to, and they planned this murder-suicide where everyone in the family took a ton of Benadryl, and Jennifer got drunk and drove them off a cliff.
I wonder if the kids knew before.
I'm gonna hope they didn't.
I hope that they didn't, too. Like, I hope that they secretly gave them this stuff.
And I want to say that the kids were at a toxic level of Benadryl, but then it was like Sarah was like, could have been... You know, could have made her drowsy. Like, it wasn't toxic, but could have made her drowsy. Same with the drinking and stuff, too. Also, think about the whole, I was saying the children were scattered everywhere and that some of them looked like they had either been let out or maybe had crawled away on their own or whatever. I mean, if you're sedated by Benadryl or something, you get in an accident, come to, don't really know what's going on, and you're so sedated you can't take care of yourself or get help or anything.
Oh my God.
Or if you are the parent and survived it and you're trying to get them out or something and then everybody died. I don't know.
Oh, I hate
It's
this.
so fucking weird, though. I hate it. The Hart family crash sparked national outrage and grief. I kind of remember when this happened.
I was going to say, I do remember seeing pictures of the SUV over.
Yeah. I didn't remember this whole story, though. And we had a fucking podcast when it happened.
Yeah.
Many questioned how such, like, obvious signs of abuse and everything had gone unseen for so long. Like, CPS had been called, schools were involved.
Yeah.
And they kept getting handed
And then
back.
they just move, and you're like, not my jurisdiction anymore.
Exactly. So, like, this case really sparked people paying attention to and talking about how, like, we can't idolize people's families on social media and believe everything they say, you know? They lie. Turns out they can lie.
Turns out not everything on the internet is true.
Exactly. In Oregon and Washington, where the family had lived, agencies had conducted internal reviews of the whole case and all the scenarios and everything. Advocates pushed for better training for CPS workers and more rigorous homeschooling oversight, which I think is interesting. I wonder how well, like, what do they do for homeschooling?
Like, what did they do?
Do like ombudsmen stop in occasionally to be like, anyway, just making sure you're not beating your homeschooled children?
It's probably like making sure that because you said that they didn't have their records of school and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
like
so
if there's a
weren't
child.
turning in like 6 grades of children because there are 6 children in their home, or like meeting the quotas every semester or whatever it's supposed to be, because I know they're supposed to be pretty structured. Like, I
would think so too. I'm like, how the fuck? But I mean, that's the whole point. Everybody's like, how the fuck? Like, what is going on?
Clearly. But maybe if it doesn't happen, just like, we'll check on them.
Yeah, you know, and it gets like out of sight,
down the road.
Mind.
Yeah, and then you can't find them because they don't live there anymore. Well, once their address gets updated, then we'll go there. You know?
Exactly. The photo of Devontae hugging the police officer, it was like this little symbol of hope and everything. And then now it's kind of like viewed as this disconnect between like appearance and reality, you know, because he was hugging this police officer and we're all like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And meanwhile, he was being abused in his own home with his white mom.
Like, can you fucking help me? Get this bitch away from me?
Yeah.
Like the one taking the picture.
Yeah. And we're over here like, how sweet, he's hugging a police officer.
Yeah.
And he feels so safe. Yeah. It's fucked up.
That's like the closest he got to freedom.
That's so fucked up. People who had shared that photo years earlier were now questioning their assumptions, right, that they had made about the family.
You can't blame yourself for that, though. Like, it was still a symbol, no matter what. It's a child and, you know, like a police officer and the whole race fucking thing that was going on at the time. Like,
that's true, but it's kind of disgusting when you think about it, when you're like, oh my gosh, like I was following this family and it looked so great and all this other stuff, and I shared her fucking images and I helped it go viral and she was abusing this kid. Like, I could see.
Right.
Oh my
being
God. But you
about
can't
it,
control
like,
any of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. Your message was the right message. It's just fucking, they were assholes.
They were dicks, man. The story just shows how easily manipulated we can make fucking people think about our lives online, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, everything's great. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
And like, you can use that as a shield for abuse. That's fucked up. That's fucking awful. So the crazy truth is, behind this whole story, 6 children were silenced over and over again through the system. They were let down constantly by like the school system, CPS, their caregivers, everything, over and over again.
Oh my God, that's so awful.
I know. So it's not just
the
about.
One?
I'm going to tell you. 19. Damn. That's crazy.
That sucks.
Dude, Devontae was 15. Like, when I think of all these stories and I hear car seat and stuff, I'm like, maybe it was like a booster or something, because they're all like 12 and older.
Maybe
but they were skinny, you know, and they weren't light, right? It's supposed to be a certain weight or something. Yeah. I don't know, but
that's the appearances. Like, oh, look, we'll give you a booster seat because that's what's recommended, but behind closed doors.
You don't have to buckle. Well, and the idea was that this family essentially planned their little murder-suicide plot. Like, here, I'll just take us all out. We don't have to deal with this anymore. You go get the kids spiked out on Benadryl. I'll yeet us off the cliff. Make sure nobody wears their seatbelt so we all die.
Mm-hmm. That's awful. That's awful. I hate that.
Yeah, or you could just not.
Or you could just, like, I don't know, take a fucking break.
Dude, guys, it's so crazy because you know how you're not supposed to judge, like, a book by its cover or whatever? Reading this whole story, I had, like, preconceived notions of what these women look like in my mind, you know? Like, okay, like, I feel like I could peg who they are. No! It looks like me and you adopted 6 fucking children.
Really?
And they were just having the best goddamn time. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You look so, like, innocent.
Normal.
What the fuck? You look so unassuming. Like, I get how they got away, quote unquote, with it. Like,
well, it's also women. Women aren't looked at as, like, that
abusive.
Yeah.
And it's like a weird
right
form of
obviously.
abuse, like a control form of abuse, right? Like, I don't know if they were obviously they were getting beat, right? She got hit by the belt and all that. So there was physical abuse.
Well, women are abusive. They're not looked at as abusive.
I know. That's
like,
what I'm saying. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking, and like not feeding, that's a major form of physical abuse.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah. Like, women are almost worse.
Yeah.
Instead of using brute force.
Torture.
Yeah. We're like, you know what's really going to fucking suck? Being hungry.
Oh, Jesus.
Yuck.
That's awful.
Oh my God.
Thanks for that.
I know. I wonder, though, if it was like, you know how there's always, listen, they're awful people. But to me, I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, these people just fucking spiraled out of control. Like, they were way in over their head, fucking live in a world that they don't actually live in. It was fantasy, right? They're living on their social media. That's a giant disconnect from their real life. So they're actually unhappy. And so they're going to go off themselves, right?
Yeah. And obviously Sarah was probably also depressed and she's, withdrawn or whatever. And then she's searching all that stuff.
Right. So that's how we all got here, which is
get it. It could be a mental illness, but also don't kill your fucking kids.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like, whoa, there's other options.
There's a pretty hard boundary.
It's not black or white, guys.
Like, I get it. I get being stressed out and exhausted and whatever and taking on more than you can chew. But
what a weird method to choose for a solution.
That's pretty fucked
God,
up.
I like how I'm judging. Fuck. Shit. Anyway, so that's my sad ass story.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, sorry that I had children.
Yeah, don't love it.
No, me either. But I found it this morning, so, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And you guys will get another Patreon soon.
You are. We're going to record that one tomorrow, probably.
Hey, speaking of, if you're not a Patreon already, you should go over to Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
It's only $1 for as little as $1.
It's as little as $1. And if you haven't been a Patreon before, you have so many to catch up on.
Yeah, for as little as $1, you get access to all of our back episodes. You get a free episode every month. When we fucking record a free episode, it costs $1. Episode every month when we fucking record it on the monthly, which we used to be so good about, but we're going to get better.
We were, but we're going to put one out.
We already got the research ready. We just got to find a time to record. Don't worry, guys. We're getting there. So come join us. Come support us. And there's also different levels and tiers and shit. So if you want to see access to the video and shit like that, you can do that there. Also, if you want to go check out pictures pertaining to this case and go see how normal these fuckers looked, go to our social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Xbox.
Oh.
We're on Xbox?
I have a PlayStation.
X? I have a PlayStation.
I don't have an Xbox.
And TikTok. That's what I was trying to say. That's what my box came in. I don't know why. Anyway, our handle is at ISGD Podcast. If you want to email us, you could do that at isgdpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can snail mail us at
P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979. Guess what?
What?
I forgot it again.
Oh, God damn it, April.
I'm so sorry.
April's never going to send us anything again.
I know. I'm so sorry. It's on my fucking counter. I'm going to put it.
It's okay. We're going to record again.
We are. Tomorrow. That'll be it. And that'll be my task is to get that.
I can't wait. It's like Christmas every day.
I'm so sorry.
We love you guys.
Love you. Bye.